Pizza, Muskoku, Mickey, Nico, Locusi, Johnny, Gators, and Bossa Lady, Hannibal, Liz, and this party. Red Nana, Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and Red Ferrari, Red Claymore, Red Jabani's Medical, and Exabani, Yaya, bless. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chest. I got this technique best. I found my destination to a red light. Rock your soul to the daylight. Hot jump going crazy, right? Nancy going crazy, right? Up, man, fight. I'm purple hazy through the night. I'm thinking chili out of spite. I'm making soup for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm South Dakota through the streets. I rock that rage all the day. Koozie King is outrageous. Koosa, Koosa. Like a dude in the fields of the core, and I got something funny. Good evening, everyone. First name's Doni, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. It has been one peaceful weekend. I tell you, the weather has broken here in Baltimore, and it's very, very peaceful. Ain't nothing like being able to cut that heat off. Lord have mercy. I hope that you are doing well this Sunday evening. Again, coming to you live from West Baltimore. I live in the Sandtown community. It's a 72 square block, part of West Baltimore. Yes, there's a difference between West Baltimore and East Baltimore, two different cultures. For those that don't know, historically, melanated people started on the east side. That's where the jobs were. That's where the water is, the harbor, the Chesapeake Bay Inlet. And eventually, melanated people migrated westward. Baltimore is the home of segregation. This is where segregation started in America. Legally, it was codified with the 1910 ordinance here, where blacks couldn't move in the white neighborhoods and whites couldn't move in the black neighborhoods. And so I just wanted to give you a little backdrop on the city from which I come. I also want to show Brother Hannibal. He comes out of Detroit, and just like in Tulsa, where they had a Black Wall Street, any city where there were melanated people, there was some type of quote unquote Black Wall Street, which actually started off as Negro Wall Street. So Detroit there was called Black Bottom. In Chicago, did I get that right? Yeah, Detroit, Black Bottom, Chicago, Bronzeville. In Manhattan, Seneca Village, in Brooklyn, Weeksville. There are three official Black Wall Streets besides Tulsa. There was the one in Durham, North Carolina, made famous by North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company, the oldest Black life insurance company in America. And then in Richmond, Virginia, made famous by Maggie Lena Walker. So those were the three official Black Wall Streets: Tulsa, Richmond, and Durham. But anywhere there were Black people, there was some type of quote unquote Black Wall Street or Black business district. East Texas, Oklahoma. These are places where melanated empowerment, quote unquote Black empowerment, really went through the roofs. Black towns were built all along the way. I write about it in my second book, I Am Black Wall Street. I talk about the 70 to 80 towns in Oklahoma and the 500 Black towns in East Texas. And these are things that we don't learn about, just like this show. So one of the things I wanted to share with you on this show is I'm currently in a doctoral program at the University of Maryland, and I'm 60 years old. And the point behind all of that is to encourage you. I've shared on my LinkedIn page how much a blessing it is to go back to school. I had some credits that I left on the table, hadn't finished, and last May I had did about a year at Morgan State University, and got that master's in journalism, and have gone back to get my doctorate in business administration. But my point to you is it's never too late to go back. I remember when I first went back for my bachelor's, there was a woman in my piano class. Yes, I played the piano, who was 75 years old. And all that to say, it is never too late to go back and finish whatever it is you started, whether it's to get a certificate, certification, an associate's degree, a bachelor's, or what have you. This has always been my goal. And I'll let you in on a little inside scoop. My daddy, his friends called him Doc Glover. Now, he was not a doctor, although he was a mortician. So needless to say, he knew the human body. But his friends, out of reverence and respect, called him Dr. Glover. And, I just want to make it official, if you will. Now, so that's one piece. If you want to go back to school, stop delaying, go back. There are plenty of options, online, in person. I prefer in person, but online has its place too. Actually, our program is hybrid. We go to class online every Wednesday, and I go down to College Park every other weekend. And Friday night, the biggest struggle is going to sleep. This Friday, I was so revved up. I ended up going to sleep about 1:30 and waking back up about 3:30. Had to be in class at 8:30. And that's a hump. But, we do what we want to do. That same energy I could put into going to the club, to the after hour. I don't know where your town is. In our town, we got after hours and after hours. And so easily you can get home 12 o'clock the next day. But I could take that same time and energy and instead put it on something that can work better for me. So maybe you have some dreams. Maybe it's not to go back to school. Maybe it's to start your business. I'm big on business. I'm big on us in business. Why? Because melanated people, black people, brown people, copper people, whatever you want to call us, we got $2 trillion in annual disposable income. $2 trillion. And if you fuzzy about the math, that's roughly equal to the 10th largest economy on planet Earth. Melanated people in America have a collective $2 trillion. So that means, considering all that we spend, if we have a decent business that we support, somebody has a decent business, one of us, that we support, we can keep them in business and help them grow their business. And even, is a new word for some people, scale the business. We talk about that a little in class, scaling a business. What does that mean? That means, I'll give you a classic example. Classic example for those who are business minded. We all should be, considering how much money we spend. And many of us foolishly, fooling his money soon depart. That's what my daddy said. But when you think about, and I almost lost my train of thought, the money we spend, for instance, in the beauty industry, we buy all kinds of hair products. We do. Us, melanated people, we buy all kinds of hair products. Who do we buy them from? Are we manufacturing any of it? I mean, back in the day, we had Afro Sheen. What was it? Ultra Sheen. We had those, those proud products for bushes and so forth. But now we make nothing. We send all of that money, Korea, South Korea, England. England makes hair weaves. Did you know that? We send it everywhere. Our money. And I'm not, hey, do your thing. I'm just saying, look at all of that money. And here's the irony. And this is why history is important. Do you know who started the beauty industry? Who started our beauty industry? A lot of y'all think it was Madam C.J. Walker. Did Madam C.J. Walker start the beauty industry? And I'll get to it, but a black woman started it, melanated, copper tone, started that industry. Anybody know her name? It wasn't Madam C.J. Walker. It was the woman who mentored Madam C.J. Walker. Her name was Annie Turnbow Malone. Annie Malone, out of St. Louis, actually had colleges. A melanated woman built colleges to teach other women cosmetology, how to take care of the hair, healthy hair products, something that had never been done. And so given that Annie Malone and people who followed her, like Madam C.J. Walker, built an entire industry to consider how much money we spend outside of our community, going to other countries, the people who frankly don't even give a rat's bottom about us. I just think at some point we got to think about that. I don't understand that. And what are they buying from us? What products are they buying from us? And so we talk a lot on this show about being melanated, about our history. But I am a journalist, and I do look at what we're doing right now. Where we spend our money, who we spend it with. Are we spending it with ourselves? Hannibal has a business. Support his business. Call him up, pay him his $100, and let him do what he let him, do the research on your family. You want to advertise on the show? You got spots for it. Put you right on up here, right with the other people that help keep this show going, including Dr. Tyrone Taborn. That's the reason for those ads now. Those are people, they advertise on our network, and then we're able to continue to do this show and pay reporters, hire reporters, photographers, videographers. We do a lot. We do a show here in Baltimore on Channel 2, WMAR Channel 2 in Baltimore, every Sunday morning at 5:30 a.m. Show costs money. So by the grace and mercy of God, and thanks to the individual support of people like you, Lindell comes to mind. Lindell Jefferson is always telling people hit the like and subscribe button. I don't often do that, not like on other shows that I've seen, but maybe I should do it more. But I know y'all grown people. If I gotta keep saying, send that check in. Please like and subscribe. Please help us keep this thing going. But I got to tell you, I ain't waiting on nobody. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to find some advertisers. We're going to find some sponsors to keep this network going. On that note, this man right here, Maryland Hospitality Training. We've been doing this show since 2000. That man's been a corporate sponsor for 5 years, 5 years straight. He paid an entire swath of bills for us to keep this show going. So many thank you to the people out there who do support this network and keep this show going. So those were the two things I wanted to say. If it's time for you to go back to school, stop procrastinating. And if you're hearing this message as confirmation, take advantage. Register. I'm 60. I'm here to tell you there are programs here in Maryland. If you're 60, they will send you to school for free. Imagine that. I hear people saying, I don't have the money. Hey, there's money out there. There's plenty of money out there for school. Plenty money. I'm telling you, they got money. I met a man yesterday, Kevin Key, and he talked about getting his son through college without debt. So yes, debt is important, but we've been gone into debt for dumb stuff. And if you're going into debt for education, I think God will bless you, especially if you're serious about your mission and what God put in your heart to do with your life. And I'll just end on that final point and bring in Brother Hannibal. Purpose-driven life. Everybody should have a purpose out there. My purpose is media, no question, hands down. Day in, day out, every day. Every day I'm thinking about media. Every day I'm thinking about our image, how we are portrayed. melanated people, whatever you want to call us. We're not getting caught up in semantics tonight. Copper tone, all of that. All of that. I'm here to cover us in media. Print, radio, television, internet. I do all 4 mediums and take some pictures too. A little videography. Not all that big on editing, but I know how to make something happen if I need to. But I am a writer, and I do have some books, including I Am Black Wall Street, and that's the most recent book, Black Blueprint, Baltimore to Burkina Faso, and Entrepreneur. I got another one out, Unapologetically Black. And I was thinking, had I known what I know now about the word black, I wonder how much of my story would be different, including the Black Wall Street Awards. They did call them Negro Wall Street. But without further ado, let me bring in my main apple scrabble. Y'all like him a lot better than you like me, I think. He's got a lot more information on the topic of indigeneity. Top of the evening to you, Brother Hannibal. How you doing?
I'm awesome. What up, though, Donnie?
What up, though, Hannibal?
Yeah, I was listening to you talk, so I want to give some of my people some love from Detroit. I'm a second-generation Detroiter. My father's side of the family been in Detroit 83 years. My mother's side of the family been in Detroit 106 years. So we do come from what you call Black Bottom, and that's like where if anybody familiar with Detroit, that's like going towards the east side of Detroit, but downtown. Going towards Belle Isle, we got an island that sits in the middle of the Detroit River, so it's down that way, down there by Verner and down there by the Miller. Used to call Miller High School in their days, but it's Miller Middle School when I was coming up. I went back to school too, in 2013, I think, and I got my degree in construction management, so I got a Bachelor of Science in Construction Management for Eastern Michigan University. I did that to inspire my kids, my children, so they had to see me do something, and that did inspire them. So now they go to school and they trying to do something.
Yeah, because you can't let them lap you.
Right. I gotta keep the bar kind of high. It was a couple things that I made a couple notes. You said somebody with the last name Taborn, so then you said my services as far as genealogy. So I'm gonna throw something that I know.
Yeah, Tyrone Taborn, he came up with this network, STEM City USA, in the metaverse.
Okay, so one famous Taborn that got to do with indigenous people is a lady named Mourning Taborn, and she married a guy, Mourning Taborn. And she married a guy named George Anderson. And these guys, this is the Anderson family, the Taborn family. Who else is involved? The Mitchell family, the Bass family. All these is the core group of the Nesmond tribe in Richmond, Virginia.
Spell Nesmond.
N-A-N-S-E-M-O-N-D. A lot of us got roots with that tribe. That's a federally recognized tribe.
Are they Saponi?
They're Nesmond.
Spell it one more time for me.
N-A-N-S-E-M-O-N-D. They right in Richmond, Virginia. So a lot of these families back in the days in the 1700s was being oppressed. So they was fleeing south, and other tribes was picking them up, like the Saponis and the Cherus and the other tribes that was down there. Some of the Cherokees and the Creeks and all the other tribes was picking up these core families. So a lot of these tribes was in North Carolina and got shipped to Indiana. There's a place called Vigo, Indiana. And there's a guy named Paul Hennig. I think they spell his name H-E-I-N-G-G. And he gives a detailed history of free people of color and their interactions with indigenous people. And then not only that, the certain families that came from these indigenous folks. So I'm gonna keep you'll hear me say Manuel's, or you'll hear me say Chavez, or you'll hear me say Oxidine, Lynch. You'll hear me say names like Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of these families came from these unions back when the colonizers came. You get what I mean? So a lot of these indigenous children, or these how you say, a coalition of relationships, because you did have people that did come over here on ships. You get what I mean? You did have a lot of indigenous people here as well. So it ain't as simple as 1, 2, 3 is what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. But you can understand our history if you go and study that Nesman tribe, the Saponi tribe. So you see, I'm going from Virginia down into North Carolina. Then you go into the Tuscaroras and the Cherus in South Carolina. And then you get into Coosa, the Edestos. You get into the Shawnees, because Shawnee is Savannah, Georgia. That's Sewanee. That's what Savannah, Georgia is. It's a Shawnee's place. You get what I mean? So you coming down from Virginia, Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, over into Georgia with the Creeks, Mississippi, you get the Choctaw Chickasaws. And then you get where in Arkansas, in Louisiana, you get the Caddo, Caddo. That's where Planet Whale's family's from. That network of people. Then not only that, as you travel north, you get O2s. It's a lot of tribes and a lot of mingling. You got to realize this was an industrial place. They was trading minerals from east to west. The natives in the southwest was coming to the southeast. So that's why Geronimo was, Geronimo got captured. Well, they brought Geronimo to Alabama, and he comes from out west. So they weren't just in their geographical location. It was a network of businesses happening here. And when people was colonizing it, they was in cahoots or in business with certain groups to gain power, just like how business is now. You know what I'm saying? If you in business right now, you want to capitalize on a product that you got. This was their mindset back then. Whether it was minerals, whether it was natural resources, whether it was human bodies, to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't pay everybody to get rich. Think about how everybody now, or how it's reflective now, where you get low wages, So everything is in sense, it's basically the same on how you look at it. I was thinking about something and I wanted to say it tonight. So if anybody's old enough, do anybody remember a lady named Cloris Tucker?
Absolutely. I met her in person.
So
she was gangster. She saved this black man's restaurant, I know.
Right. I had to say to myself as a kid, because I was just a teenager, and what's that, 1993? No, I was about 19.
You talking about when she G-checked the rapper?
Yeah, when she G-checked the whole rap industry. Basically, like
Tupac, wasn't it?
Yeah, she started with Pac. You know what I mean? So
Pac's ass.
Right, but didn't realize what we have now. She was basically
warning us.
Yeah, warning us about what we call the YNs. Facts. And then if we want to know why I'm saying her, I'm evoking her, that goes back to this indigenous thing with the Nesman tribe, with the Tucker family, because it's a lady named Keziah Tucker who married John Bass. Now you see why I'm focused on these families, because majority of us got roots to these families. If you got roots down in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and you done been sold down the river, them the families you come from up north.
Don't you think most people realize this at some point in their life, that they got roots elsewhere?
No, I think a lot of people ain't really. It's not too important to them.
Yeah, but we'll dismiss that, and then our young rappers will come out and say they come from the bottom. And I'm telling you, generally we do not come from the bottom.
Yeah, I think people don't understand how big an acre is. I think an acre is what 100. Is it 100 feet by 100 feet? And imagine you had 13 of them. A mile is 5,280 feet, or 66 chains, because they used to measure things by chains. So they had certain length for the length of a chain. I think it was 33 hoops that equals a chain, and 66 of them equal a mile, or something like that. It was some mathematic like that. But I know by feet, 5,280 feet is 1 mile. You get me?
Okay, your point with all of this.
What I'm saying is that people think that we come from the bottom. If your ancestor had 3 to 5 acres, that's a lot of land. And we're not even counting what's below it.
That's because of a limited understanding of our history, and we just don't know. Or we didn't pass it on for whatever reason.
Well, I'm gonna share with our people where to find it at. And I can share with you how to find it for free. You get what I mean? It's a way you can look at census records for free. It's a way you can to understand these nations and stuff. You got to understand the core families that come from these nations, that make up these nations.
How many of them are they?
What you mean? The Native American nations, over 500.
You said
I'm about to make up the nations. Okay, here, look, it's hundreds of them. It's a lot of them. A lot of us got them names. I can't name them all. I can name the ones that connect to me: Gibson, Harris, Anderson, Mitchell, Bass, Chavez.
Well, ain't that everybody we know?
No. Everybody wasn't here. You get what I mean? After emancipation, you get a lot of people coming up here that don't share the same lineage or the history that we have. That's why it's not so important to a lot of people. You get what I mean? That's why a lot of people ain't focused on what's actually happened here. You know, that was the driving force of our people, to actually not let what happened here go covered up. You get what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that. People think that, whoa, they just cotton pickers. True. You know, people was taking care of babies. I got a document showing that my second great grandmother, she was a fangirl. You know what that is? Fanning flies off babies, sitting on. There wasn't no fans in the house. They made a ledge in the corner of the wall, and they put the baby up there and had to fan everybody in the house. Come on.
Can you handle this question right here, or a comment?
You say, what you mean, the phonetics? Is you when that second word remind me of 2 words phonetically, but I don't know what they're talking about. Explain more. Okay. Because that first word may be an indigenous word.
But your point is, we should, there are clues left for us to find out who our ancestors were.
Oh yeah, we had upright folks that actually documented stuff. If you own land, you had to document your land. You had wills.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? In our county, down in Coosa County, the very first entry in the will book got to do with a Native American and his orphan children. And the children that they went to is the guy who enslaved my family. You get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't just bring and buy slaves. They was getting the kids, the orphan kids, from the people that had the land allotments. I got records of them poisoning the water. And a lot of people died down there. Lost land allotments. Now we can gather it up. Now we can get the minerals from it. The guy who owned us, people, and just imagine this.
I don't like when you say that, because ain't nobody own you. Somebody might have had you trapped, but ain't nobody own you.
The thing is, like you said, the
semantics. I got to push back on that.
I guess the thing is, don't get caught up on how I'm saying it.
I don't want to.
I guess we got to get up.
They might have had us trapped for a minute. No, I'm not. I'm pushing back on that. Because I ain't gonna, they might have had me trapped, but that don't mean I'm there captive for the rest of my damn days on this earth. Nor do I have to carry that chain around my neck like an albatross.
But we here in 2026, not even.
I ain't got to carry that weight.
Here we are, cuz. We're in 2026, we're not even suffering half the penage or the serfdom that our people experience. We say slavery, but peonage and serfdom. People don't understand what being in peonage and being a serf is. You get what I mean? That's why they did what they did to us. You wasn't just, when I say own, you own now. Everybody own. You got an ID? Seriously. You walking around with a birth certificate?
Yeah.
Don't play no games.
Yeah.
These are still the same
I also
people.
got a passport that I can leave this motherfucker anytime I want.
Think about it when you go there. When you go
I
there,
can leave anytime I want.
Think about it. It's an embassy.
I can leave anytime I want.
Think about it. I'd have been gone too. I've been gone out of the country without a passport.
No, I ain't doing that in this era.
No, I'm talking about what it's certain people. That's mean that you was let out the country. You get what I mean? You still let. I think people get caught up on the semantics of things. People don't think that this country own us. Anytime they can grab you and put you in jail, you owned.
Yeah, but that means anybody on this land they can own. But if I am in another country, ain't a damn thing they can own on me.
Well, they can take your passport so you can't go anywhere else.
Get a new passport. Money can buy you a new one.
But then that's high crimes, right? Now you're dealing with international law.
A criminal from a criminal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I meant to say is that these people were filthy rich by taking land. We get caught up on how things are said and never get to the
but y'all also talk about spells on this show. And so I ain't gonna keep speaking no spell of what happened in the past on me. I'm gonna defer. Right. You got some comments on the side here.
Peonage, yeah. That's what they call what happened to our ancestors here, the state of being that they was in. You get what I mean? And think about the ambition and the ambition and drive that the ancestors had to get people like us to talk and have the diverse opinions that we have today.
True.
Back in them days, they was dependent on one who had knowledge. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think the thing is here, what's it saying? Tax bond equals owned. Right. I think the thing is a lot of us is still alive. It's passion. Can't fault none of us from how we feel about things. Can't fault none of us on how we describe and say things about our ancestors.
True that.
You get what I mean? Because I've been at it for a long time. You get what I mean? Researching ancestors, and they ain't getting paid for it. Telling people the little bitty finds I find about them. You get what I mean? My family love it. I don't know about everybody else's. You get what I mean? But my family love to hear about our ancestors. Just today, a cousin called me and say, hey, my daddy is such and such. I done connected them within our loop. Mm-hmm. And our great-grandfathers was brothers born in the 1860s and 1870s. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's powerful. How can you know, right now, we got people that's in that rather they got more family with gang members than their actual family. Or people in the street than their actual family. That thing's gonna have to change. Our actual families or our core groups, because realizing talking to others that certain relationships can't be mended, but the ones that can, mend those, and then we're greater together. Then, you know, I think that's the passion that I'm bringing to the table. I don't get really too caught up on words, but like Donnie said, they spells. You know what I'm saying? I understand the situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I apply it to the situations we have now. You know, but look at it, see if anything different from those. I think the getting the horrible part of it don't exist, but the maintaining and codifying behaviors or repercussion for behaviors still exist.
And the mental. Yeah.
And we talked about that. I think we talked about that before, Planet, about mental illness,
Yeah.
or what's the other word? Post-traumatic slave disorder.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Or behaviors from ancestors, and a lot of us don't know why we might do certain things or think certain ways.
That trauma that was never cleared.
Right.
Right.
I had, when I started off, right, I'm doing the genealogy, one guy was like, well, your ancestor, well, we all this, ain't, nobody got no native in. I'm like, man, speak for your own people.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? That's you. Speak for your folks. Don't speak for mine.
Right.
I know who mine is. If you don't know who yours is, you can't speak for nobody.
Exactly.
But that's the whole goal. The information is there. A lot of the researchers amongst us that show that within them census records, if you do know who your people is, there's a lot of information there. A lot of breadcrumbs to lead you where you want to.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a lot of passion there for a minute there. So how your day been going, Planet?
Man, I'm just on the recovery road.
I see you.
I think I got it over the hump.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolute. Let's see what we got here. I agree. The whole point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It's important. Because the first thing they do when you're incarcerated, right, is they take away your name and they give you a number. They take away your lineage and give you a number. Yeah. They take away your culture and give you their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's very important for your health to be aware of your lineage.
Okay. So there's somebody say, where do we find out how to locate records to tell us where our ancestors' land is so we can reclaim it? So you got to start off like, look at the census records and see that your family either own or rent land. If they own that land, you can go to the Bureau of Land Management's website and put the state and the county and the last name of your ancestor, and you should be able to find the land deed or some information about that particular land for your ancestor. Or you can actually look in like the probate records, like the land deed, because the land deeds is going to be in probate records. And a lot of these sites like Ancestry, Family Search got databases. And you can search their databases, but you want to look in the probate part, because that's where they recorded the deeds at. So you find the deed. So like I've been trying to establish to those who got roots in Alabama, it's specifically those 18 counties that seeded at the 1832. There's in the Chickasaw Tract book, that's what it's called. But you can actually find the original allotments and who it was assigned to and how much. That's how I know how, like those who like those. What's the best terminology to not ruffle someone when you talk about ancestors that was in bondage? You know what I'm saying? So those who had my ancestors in bondage had hundreds. They had hundreds of land allotments that were given to those natives, the Muskogees that stayed behind. And when I say Muskogee or them Creek Indians, that was opposed to going to Oklahoma, because the Creek Indian story is not like the Cherokee story that, whoa, they was forced to go. No, the nation was divided. And those who went out west was those who agreed to stay, or those who agreed and sold Alabama and Georgia. Those who stayed behind was those who was against it. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know. So it said so that's how you that's the first part. Now if you can connect your ancestors' land to native land, then you got a cause for redress. And redress, if anybody know about anybody, I just asked the question for our people in the comments. So what's I think it's 2 or 3 federal agencies that deal with Native Americans here. Because anybody name them? Those who gave the land and those who made the reservations and stuff like that. And these is the agencies that exist today.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs.
Yeah, that's one, and that's a sub agency of a bigger agency. This agency is anybody know about federal agencies? The head is called the department. You know, you got departments of Veteran Affairs, Department of Labor, Department of this. You get what I mean? So it's the Department of the Interior. So the Department of the Interior is responsible for all the land and all the minerals that the country has. And then they have agencies, sub-agencies that actually do the work, like the Bureau of Indian Affairs, to do the work to manage this. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's what they call a bureaucracy.
Right.
So you got interactions between agencies and interactions between groups. That's what you call a bureaucracy. So it's a lot of good questions we can answer. You just said, okay, we're seeing that comment. Yeah, we're seeing that one. I think that is, we got to be careful right there. Because those tribes that exist now were in bed with those who run the government now. You get what I mean? So it wasn't the fact that you weren't able to establish power. It was certain groups within the tribes that had the power to move you into to say, hey, we're going to do this and that. You know, that's your political part. And then the money that comes from it, you get what I mean? So it covers all of them, the power, the political, the economic thing. You had other tribes that was in bed with the government. You get what I mean? Within all these nations, basically. So when you say, well, I'm this people, no, that people it's subgroups that make up that people. So which group of people you come from is reason why a lot of those who call themselves Native or recognized take people saying that, I'm indigenous as is just conjecture, because you basically don't know. You just saying a broad band, or you saying something that really don't pertain to your actual ancestors.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I agree. You know, everybody should be teaching this, you know, teaching what happened, you know, and be able to go back to prior interactions before 1619, before 1526. And then not only that, know what was happening in their countries. Because you studying behavior, you studying why. And it might take a whole lifetime to realize why.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Peace, Awanasa. Peace.
Peace.
So you can't get culture from books, you have to live it. So anybody ever heard of a term called industrialized cultural trauma? All of us got it. All of us watch it. Industrialized cultural trauma is things like hip hop music, our dances, our clothes. Somebody industrialized this and made a new culture from it. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's industrialized cultural trauma. You know, the traumas that we have now, we're being fed it, and now people is thinking that it's okay. That's why we got a subculture. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, like here in Hawaii, you know, they have the Hawaiians, right? And their various islands in the archipelago, right? Well, they own all of the land. It's their land. So when you look at this map and you see all of these tribes, they own all of that land. They were here. They were here. So this is the search for your track to that land because your ancestors were here. It's not that complicated. What's complicated is the bureaucracy that you have to go weave through, of which Hannibal has demonstrated his mastery of that game. But look at this map here, right? So you mean to tell me some people came over here in a boat and now they own all the land? That don't make sense. Just on the common sense, right? But if you don't know yourself and you don't know your history, then you fall into the deep well of ignorance, right? And then they dictate this and that and blah 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 blah, right? But when we say land, you were divinely given the stewardship of the land, right? Then they changed it into a type of ownership type thing that they brought over from Europe, right? And that's ultimately the quagmire that we find ourselves in.
I've seen a couple of. I'm highlighting a couple of the questions and a couple of comments in the chat. I'll respond, but you know, I'll let a lot of the people in the chat respond. You know, Ishtar, he's been really vocal in the comments. He said one part. I'll try to find it. He said this: did you chase the foreign traditions and cultures, and doing so forget your own? I think many of us consciously and subconsciously did it. Even speaking and talking this language right here now is a form of what you're saying. Because you wouldn't know it if you didn't submit, or you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't know it. You know, I think everything is relative. You know, people, it's like, for some sense, people like to point the blame, or, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. What's the answer here? And I think that's why we all here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anyone be a fool to say, hey, I know all the answers. You know, I think the thing is, the form is to share information. You know, whether it's right or wrong. You know, I can admit it if I'm wrong on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The conversation, put it like that. It should be what they say, a safe place where you can come and you can converse and have your opinions. But the thing is, let everybody else have theirs, and that's the only thing everybody here. You know, the respectful thing that we got for everybody here.
Correct.
You know, we'll be respectful. You know. This guy right here. I don't know. A lot of, you know, so you got to be beyond what the current state is in order to lift yourself or lift a group of people out of a certain situation.
True that.
So looking at looking at certain things that happen from one lens will do you greater damage than looking at it from multiple lenses. Put it that way. You know, I think the time is, our focus is not on what everybody else is doing. Our focus should be on getting us together. You know, to keep doing what we've been doing. You get what I mean? It'll be asinine is a good word to stray from what you're doing to keep you stable. That way. I think a lot of people is admitting the diversity that a lot of us have too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, I see a lot of the indigenous history is coming out, but a lot of history is coming out. You know, it had no other choice but to come out when you get people that gets educated. People say, well, why you know about the past? Why you go to school? Why you learn math? That's something from the past. Something that we do every day. Every time you add something, that's somebody from the past learned that. Every time you walk, or even a baby suckling, that's somebody from the past that learned that.
Correct.
I think people don't see the relevancy of all things. I think that's something that when you sit back and you consciously think about how things is together, even for you, that's for the person. How everything is relative to the output that you got in your life. It took me to realize that, damn, every time I had abrasive relationships, it wasn't them all the time, it was me. Mm-hmm. I was the main character in that shit, excuse my language, a lot of the times. Yeah. It's facts. You research your family history to learn your lineage, to know what tribe you belong to, where, and what are your family lands and tribal roles. Chief, I speak from research and knowledge. Yeah. So that's just like saying, hey, I'm one of them, you know? And then what if you run across someone that you say, well, most of us say I'm Cherokee or I'm Blackfoot. What if you run across one that's actually, and they get to speak it to you, and then you fall short to speak back to them? You get what I mean? Then now you got to do your due diligence to learn yourself. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The awkwardness of it all, to say you are, you get what I mean? At least learn something of rather the good and you got to learn the good, bad, and ugly of all things, and as exists in all things. Yeah, I spoke French and Spanish before I studied Chata. All right, and like I said, I went back to school in 2013. Mm-hmm. I was 39 years old. I learned Spanish. I had a 5 credit hour Spanish class. You just jumped in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was easy to learn once I learned why. And a lot of us, we know some Spanish words, but we don't know why they are. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of us have apprehensiveness from fear. Facts. Mm-hmm. I think it's a conjunction thing. Like I come on and I come on and I say what I done learned from someone else, what I done seen someone else say to spark the interest in others to go research it for themselves. You get what I mean?
Absolutely. Plant the seed.
Yeah. So look who's coming into the show. We got somebody coming into the show, y'all. He'll be in a couple seconds. And I think majority of our viewers will like this one when he come in. You know. So it's been we got a lot of viewers in here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing now with the situation. You still gotta, you have naysayers and you have people that wanna what's the new thing they call trolls. But it's all good. Don't let nobody deter you from what you got. You know what I'm saying? What your goals are.
Exactly. And constantly learn.
That's the whole thing. When you stop wanting to learn, that's a bad thing.
That's when you got a problem. Yeah.
We go to school to get brainwashed.
Yeah, it's definitely a program.
It's definitely a program. But have you ever chose to go to school and learn something that you wanted to learn?
And the basics are very important. Reading, writing, mathematics.
It's a beautiful thing that the Generation X are picking this information up. And that's, I think, weren't we the generation that started hip hop, or we carried hip hop to where it's at now? I think we got a lot at stake here. We're responsible for a lot of what we see that's not absolutely above board with our folks. Put it that way. You get what I mean? So our generation should be standing up and putting this information out. We were the first ones to learn about Israelites, 5%ers, Nation of Islam. In them 90s, it was Generation X reading them books. 1994 when I got my awakening. And it wasn't just guys, all praise to them guys up in New York. They was the ones putting them books out in the bookstores in the big cities. They was pushing that knowledge out. We learned about what Egypt was. We learned about what we could find out about here. You had a lot of people deep into the knowledge. You get what I mean? Still is. That's something that's within our folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How you doing, Amanda?
Yeah,
See that term Mexican, you're gonna get kind of, if you was in that arena when you had scholars, they're gonna give you some pushback because they're gonna start talking about Aztecs, Incas, and Mayans, and then they're gonna ask you where do the Mexicans sit at, right? So like one of the comments say you go there to get brainwashed. It ain't the brainwashing thing. Is the limitation. A lot of us don't it's facts. A lot of us don't do homework. A lot of us ain't really into school and things. A lot of us are told to get trades. You get what I mean? So education ain't one, or the learning. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's certain things that you, if you into certain things, you should learn about them things. You can't just by chance just let it fall in your lap. I think that's what a lot of failure come from, because we expect things to just fall in the lap. You got to do the work to get there. You get what I mean? That's within anything you want to do here, right? We could set up a link for anybody in the comments that want to come on. You want to come in, my brother?
Peace.
Peace.
What it do, family? How y'all feeling?
Awesome.
Good.
How you been?
Man, all is well, man. Yes, sir. All is well, man.
Welcome back, Mafia.
So yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, man. I've just been breaking my back and working sweat.
Yes, sir. So we got a nice crowd tonight. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of comments going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm out of the studio, so I can't see the comments or none of that.
Okay. So could you see this? Could you see that comment on the screen there?
Yeah, I can see what you're putting up.
So this Ishtar Linku, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's explaining. He's saying Ethiopian equals exos, thermos, see helix, and ionus, and ozone, phosphorus, ionic, atomic, nucleus. So that's a lot said right there, cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know the meaning of some of them, a lot of them words from ionus on over. I know what thermos mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can actually maybe put it together what exos and helios mean. You know,
yeah, Helios is the sun.
Sun, yeah.
That's like Helios Biblios.
Right.
Helios Biblos, like the Bible.
Right, I get you. Okay. But that's deep knowledge there. I think that a lot of, it's deep knowledge. We always have been water people. Most of the tribes use rivers, waters, creeks, oceans, waves to travel, transport goods, and daily use for life living.
True that.
Facts. She said, the B Queen 6081, the Mexican people are the people of the earth. I think all people of the earth. So when you say Mexican people, is you talking about those within the caste system? Is all those Mexicans too? Just a question.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of the people have misnomers as far as into what they are called and to who their true nature is. Mexicans don't like to be called Mexicans.
So at B Queen 6081, there was no Spanish, no Mexicans before the Spaniards arrived and started the blanqueamiento. That means blanque means white.
Mm-hmm.
I know blanco, and I think they're blank. Okay, we already know. Facts. So you out there with the Hopi. So tell me about the white, yellow, black, and red. So you should know about us. Right? That was in one of the first shows I talked about you guys and us. And with the shield, with the colors, the white, the yellow, the red, the black. So it shouldn't be really too much like negativity within the conversations we have. If you truly understand that and why it's such and why it's so and why it appears amongst a lot of the tribes. They call it the wheel, right? The color wheel. So why it appears not just with the Hopi, but tribes in the southeast and the northeast. There's a reason, it's a specific reason. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Lindell, keeping everybody straight. Mm-hmm.
I get where you're coming from. I think you see the Unk. He talking about the Unk.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity Pi Unk. See? Do you know anything about the Serrano tribe out in California?
Blessings.
Out there in I think they're in the Mojave Desert. I think that Mojave Desert is not that far, maybe a couple 100 miles from where the Hopi's from. But I think over there by Joshua Tree and all that type, 29 Palms. There's a tribe over there that speaks about ancient things that you may be saying. And they call themselves Serrano, Serano. So when you get into talk about that side of the country, it's a lot of things you gotta keep in mind, viewers. You gotta think about tribes coming out of South America, out of Mexico. You got the Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayan. They coming out of there and they coming up north. and they populating places like the Colorado, California. It was a time when out there, and I think it's one of the rivers that's dry, but at the time when they was coming, it was a big river out that way. I think it's the Colorado River. I think Colorado River was much bigger when the Aztecs was coming up that way. So you talking about the Hopi, you talking about the Pima, Pima, right? Now look at the Pima tribe. They look like us, but with dreadlocks, and they dreadlocks is black and blindish color because they've been in the heat. Like when you get in the heat, your hair gets sun dyed, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I've been under the weather, but just seeing Mafia is healing.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Just seeing them is healing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the love, man.
So what's been going on with your Mafia? Everybody miss you.
Nah, yeah, I miss the family, man. Like I say, I've just been making sweat. You know what I mean? That's all. You got.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to stay afloat. We still got a lot that's going on in the world. You gotta prepare yourself in whatever way possible.
True that.
My situation might be different than other people, so I gotta take different measures.
Your spirit is always with us.
I should.
So.
Yeah, but I've been keeping up with what's going on, in the news as far as the war, the constant tragedy, this more police brutality. It's everything the same still going on. We still got people that's waking up to different levels of consciousness and perspectives are growing.
Absolutely.
The conversation is still going. So as long as we can keep it going and come together as we can. We're not going to agree on everything, but what we can agree on, we can work on that.
So with that being said, you're talking about like current events, like what's going on in the world and how does that affect us? I've been looking like indirectly or directly, look at the gas prices now. Here in Michigan, gas was a couple of weeks ago before this stuff started was like $2.69. That's $3.89 a gallon.
Yeah, and more than likely will go up a lot higher than that.
Yeah, because it's getting hot. You got to get hot, so more people gonna be on the road, so more money gonna be made. You know what I mean?
But that's the whole gimmick. We know this. We know this go around every political season. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being able to adjust to it. Now that we have the level of awareness that we do, we have to prepare for these things. We have to start minimizing the oil and gas use and find other ways and means to travel so that we can store these things for a more crisis type of situation.
So this is a fair statement. Who wants to go to school when you had to learn about a bunch of pale-skinned Europeans in your early elementary as if they were teaching the kids about stuff that was relatable? It'll be different. So
I agree with that. Like I was in the back when a comment was saying basically about the indoctrination. If we on the internet and we giving truth and facts and you go to school and you learn a different truth and facts, it's what they call cognitive dissonance. And that creates a war within yourself as to what is truth and what is fact and what is for you. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you know about John Hanson in school, when they teach you about George Washington, knowing about John Hanson, they ain't gonna do nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Knowing about the colonial era and the Continental Congress and none of that is valid to get you a A+ in school. So if you're learning these things that have no value of truth when you come to the indigenous aspect of information, then it changes the purpose of school and education.
True. But since
so that's
we're in this system, we we have to use the educational system for the basics,
Yes, sir.
you know. So once one has acuity in reading
Mm.
and in writing and mathematics, just the basics, you know,
Yeah.
then you know you play the system to get
You
whatever
got the
grade you're gonna
skills.
get.
Yeah, right.
But
I
you got the
understand that.
the basic skills.
But that's why the family setting is also important, because
Extremely.
you're supposed to teach your child. You're supposed to teach your family. You're supposed to teach your neighbors, your community. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? When I come outside and take my trash out, yeah, my neighbors, they know I'm going to talk about the sun, moon, and the stars. We ain't just
Right.
going to talk about the weather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Exactly.
we all have a responsibility. And the more we take responsibility and accountability for what's to be done, then things will be done.
True.
I think I agree to a point, and I agree with both sides.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The basics, you know. I think right now today, most of us don't even know how to write in cursive,
Correct.
and that's a mental thing,
Mm-hmm.
because your handwriting tells if you are mentally stable or not. So you got a bunch of people walking around here that types all day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even see their calligraphy.
No, man. Ask them to sign their name.
So I'm being facetious and being funny to say that when we learned, our parents learned. It was an objective for a certain skill in a certain trade to learn. Most of us think that, what the hell I'm gonna do with this math? Hell yeah, you're gonna do with this math. Every time you go to the store, they pricing you. Then not only that, they showing you fractions.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, they doing weights and balances, and they giving you all these measurements that you got to deal with every day. Every day, you can't run
Every
from
day.
it. And most people can't do it. That's why you got a lot of obesity, because on the back of a package tell you how much you supposed to get per day. But a lot of us don't know how to read it, because during the school, during the home economics, a lot of that nutritional facts. That's just like say, who wants to go to school and have to learn a bunch of pale skinned European things, or however. Now you don't know why they got this. I ain't just talking about you, your comment, but I'm just saying us taking the idea that education ain't the way to get on here in this country. How can you perceive someone that's doing some dirt to you if you ain't abreast to them? If you ain't as wise as them? Get what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's right now, the math that we learned, the simple algebra we learned in the 90s is out the window. These kids is learning.
Gone.
I'm talking about, you really got to be thinking now.
Yeah, but they do a whole entirely different math. The whole system of math has changed as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the constant reprogramming of the information that's being instituted into the systems. So if I have a genetic coding, what they call the Akashic records, if I have a memory of myself and my bloodline, and I'm being taught a certain thing that I might not be as wise of my spirit. I might not know my ancestors. I might not know what my fifth great grandmother, what she done or was, but I may feel aspects of her spirit at certain times. So when I'm learning about something from her time, it could spark something that's in me that make me question a certain thing. And I think it's not just the education aspect, it's the homework and doing peace and doing the homework and doing your own research. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have a desire to want to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is just, it's not going to be handed to you. It's not going to be handed to you. Now, whether this is the truth and facts or it's not, you still got to find it and figure it out. Right. Hey, Big Mom, baby, peace. And Dale, appreciate the love, family.
You gotta explain that comment. What's being gate cap? So you make a comment about Mexicans. When did Mexicans start realizing black people or recognizing black people? I'm talking about legally. I'm talking about the government. When did they start recognizing the quote unquote black communities down there in Mexico? We know that the first president of Mexico was black, but when have the current people say Mexicans were black or recognize the black Mexicans that live in Mexico?
Not until the recent uprising of indigeneity.
Yeah, it's not a such thing. See, people be using all types of terms when it don't make sense, when it's not the form. Nobody gatekeep no information. You're welcome to come on and vocalize your opinions and talk to us. You know, as long as we could talk. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and say why you feel that way about people gatekeeping over Mexicans. Is you saying that since we're 13% of a population and you guys are 60% of a population, that we are gatekeeping, and is what is that implying? I don't understand that.
Maybe he can clarify.
Yeah, no, it's just funny how we always the minority of everything. We always, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to put us on the lowest numbers possible.
Right.
Like
That's
we just the smallest group of people on earth. You know what I mean? And that's political driven with statistics.
Absolutely.
I like this comment. Cynthia Carverhouse says, we don't go to school to get brainwashed. We go and get brainwashed. I'm 72, been on Ancestry since December 2000 for 26 years. I took PC repair, word processing, Lotus 1, 2, 3, more science and more.
There you go.
To
keep learning.
You gotta spread the knowledge. I come up in 5% Nation of Islam, Nation of Gods and Earths, but I also learned more science. You know what I'm saying? I learned the Nation of Islam. I learned Christianity. I learned Buddhism, Egyptology. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
B Queen, are you talking about the Maya? When you say the people of the sun, the water, and earth, are you talking about Maya?
Okay.
Because Maya means literally water, right? And if you're talking about Maya, you're talking about a lot of us. When I say Muskogee, I'm saying connections to the Maya. So if that's what you're saying, when you say people of the sun, water, and earth?
The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incans, the Toltecs, the Olmecs.
Okay.
I think when we separate the Americas, we separate the bloodlines and the heritage. Two families make a tribe. Two tribes make an empire.
Wow. Yeah, Virginia was the Carolinas. When they came and when they said, well, this is it. That's how. So when you want to find records, you got to find records the way they kept records.
Right.
So when they said certain things and certain terminologies, they wasn't shy when they called our ancestors what they called them. You get what I mean? And they wasn't shy when they put the records in these certain places that you got to find these records. You know, there's a lot of, so you're gonna find records in the state records next to farm equipment, animals that they had.
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna find a lot of these records at.
Seeing Moses too.
Yeah, she's talking about the medicine wheel when I was talking about the colors on it. But that will supposed to be reflective of groups of people.
And time.
Donnie, what up, Donnie?
Yeah, get this one.
Flavor. They got to see Moses. Thank you, Moses, for the gift.
Yeah, we shot
every human on the planet Earth comes from someone black. You'll be a foolish mortal to even say that comment. youngin. You talking to ancient people. Come on, you call yourself a Mexican. Come on, you call yourself a creation.
We say, look at roots. Alex
That's funny.
Haley.
That's funny, man.
We way past that, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's hilarious.
They don't know about Kunta Kinte.
Kunta Kinte.
They
So,
don't know. They don't know Alex was over there clipping.
But you notice they don't even make slave movies no more.
Thank God.
You know what I'm saying?
Another slave movie, man. I think I'll
the last one they made was 12 Years a Slave. That's the last movie that I remember they made. Yeah, it's
that
like,
was
That was
last
like
slave.
Nat Turner, wasn't he? Wasn't that supposed to be Nat Turner?
No.
This is a good question, B Queen. Answer this one. If we came from Africa, why are our people's murals painted all over the walls at the Bonampak mural site and Omak has sculptures of us in our land, so-called Mexico? He asked you. That's a
question.
Legit question.
That's a real, yeah.
It's a legit question. Now you got to answer, and then not only that, answer why you call yourself Mexican. Because I know it was Mayans there. The Mayans didn't call themselves Mexicans. Incas didn't do it, and the Aztecs didn't do it. You talking about a mixed group of people when you say Mexican. You're talking about Chinos, people from China that was brought over here to build railroads. You're talking about the indigenous people down, and so you're talking about all the Aztecs, Incas, and Mayas, and you're talking about the indigenous Negroes that was there, and then you also talking about slaves or esclavos that the Spanish brought. That's the word for slaves in Spanish, esclavos. That's what the Spanish called them. Then not only that, you had Morenos. That's why I asked you about the caste system. Because up here, we complex, but we got a vision to see the end. You guys down there got a whole caste system of different type of human beings. I'm not lying. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys, then down in Mexico, they went to the lengths to make portraits of how these children will look if these combinations of people mixed. I'm not lying. It's called the caste system. That's why we got it. That's why the caste system is basically kind of reflective of being poor, middle class, high class. But now we talking about your color. That's why they say anybody's black. If you got what do they say, 31 of your 32 ancestors, you're black. One of them, you get what I mean? So now we talk about that caste system down there. They really was detailed about this. So now that's why you guys don't, because it's a higher level. Look how you talking about Africa. You don't even like your blackness. Come on, get out of there. That's the first thing you say. You talk that to an ancient people. It wouldn't be no you.
Yeah.
True that.
So when we say roots, we know that Harry Corlander actually wrote the book called The African. We know that he sued Alex Haley for $600,000. Let me show you how deep what I know.
Go ahead.
I know that them family, that Chicken George family actually is a family called the Lee family, L-E-A or L-E-E, out of Coswell, South Carolina. That's who Harry Corlander was talking about. That's who Alex Haley so-called plagiarized. So we're not being misled. You know what I'm saying? Our people been doing our due diligence since we've been here. You might fool us in the beginning, but after we learn, we learn. Okay.
Sister well studied.
Yeah, the issue is we were not to leave our children's education solely up to public schools and people that were not honest about how they arrived.
True that.
True. A lot of people go to work. It's not that intentionally that we did it. It was the circumstance. A lot of people had to go to work.
Right.
Leave your kids there. Then the kids have to come home, be by themselves because you got to go to work. You got to pay these bills. You know what I'm saying? Majority of folks nowadays is single family households. Right. So now you got a single person got to do what two people used to do. So it's like throwing a ball at a wall and it really ain't gonna make no dent. You know what I'm saying? Because it's circumstances to everything. It's bigger than what a solution is. Oh, you doing this and you doing that, but it's bigger than that. And it's bigger than what we think it is. That's why none of us have a solution to it all.
I think we all have solutions.
Expound on that, Cuzzo.
Like I said, we dealing with a multitude of problems on many different levels. So there are many solutions and there are many problem solvers. It's just that it won't happen all in one grand scheme. You know what I'm saying? We won't elect a new president and then the world is just totally, completely changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's over a period of time that things have to transpire. It's like when you step into a new frequency or vibration, your body is uncomfortable. Your nervous system have to recompute in order to be in this new frequency that you uphold. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like going through addiction and withdrawal. When you get to that withdrawal state, it's a different frequency and vibration. So after you make it through that stage and you become recovered, your body is in a new frequency. So you have to learn to operate in that vibration.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. She says $2 gas. I would be joy for $2 in 2005 prices. California from 484 to 504. Yeah. And then don't California got a high rate of people moving out and moving to Texas now? And like I know in Michigan, we get a lot of people from New York.
Mm-hmm.
So could they come?
No, they leave in the big cities. It's too much.
Too much. That's especially that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
And it's gonna go higher than that.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were saying, this summer months is about to begin. We just now having some good days. We had a 70-degree day, and we had a 60-degree day, and people was out and about. So sending our own heirs to war, I'm against it. Back in the days, we protested against war.
Yeah.
See, and these the type of conversations that needs to be had nowadays with what current events is happening. You get what I mean? A lot of us are going to war now. A lot of our children and family and friends' children are going to war now.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys see the Marine that got his hand broken?
Yeah,
I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By a U.S. Senator and guards over at the Capitol.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He said he will not fight for Israel. He said he will not die for Israel. A U.S. Marine in uniform, former Marine.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah,
that was tough.
My paternal grandmother was a Oklahoma Colbert. I have a family page connecting cousins. So you kin to James Logan Colbert? And what's her name? I'm going to name her real quick. Sophia Hoya. That should be your ancestors, right? And then you get to their children. I know who their children are too. So I know your line for sure. They came to where we at. James Logan Colbert was in Coosa, Alabama. Look up the records. So I know that family. I'm familiar with you guys. And then there's I think it's a young lady named, her last name Love. She descends from one of their children. I got a picture of her because at one time I thought I was connected to her. I got DNA matches to the Colbert family, to that. That's why I know about your family. And I know they Chickasaws, and a lot of them came with the Creeks. As Sophia Hoyer, she might be connected with the Creeks. I know that James Logan must have some type of connection with the Chickasaws, or his children does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, special thank you to C. Moses. You give
Absolutely.
up that money, I got to say thank you. You heard me, Mafia?
No, yeah, we definitely shouted him out.
Yeah,
I can't thank him
absolutely.
enough.
No, I
That's
feel
right.
you.
I
I can't
believe
thank
that.
him enough. I wish we had 100 more like it.
You know what I
Like
mean?
him or her.
Not for facts.
I definitely look into Ramon Moses. I think that's within your DNA is a healing for your body. You know what I'm saying? Within there, your DNA tells you what you can eat and what you cannot eat, and what type of diseases you are prone to and what type of diseases you will have. That's what the code on your DNA tells you. You know, and it tells more than that too. I know the 23rd one tells what sex you are. If it go tell you, it's gonna be more than two.
I got a question for you. Just kicks and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
What did they do with toxic people back in the old days?
It all depends on the culture, because some cultures put that toxic person in the center of a circle and spoke life into that person.
True that.
Right.
You get what I mean? Then, so you think about people that do negative things to people, they only become as negative as those who oppress. You the oppressor. What they say in the movie, now you got the juice.
They put them in the sweat lodge.
Right.
Yeah.
Throw
that cedar and that sage on them in 200 degrees.
Right. And then it depends on what toxic is, from what culture and what perspective. Because they sick dogs on them, they water hose them, they hung them, they burnt them on crosses. They fed them to gators.
Yeah,
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Where does this toxicity come from?
A lack of regard for human life. Because if you regard a human life, no, I can't. That's hard, because a lot of people is toxic indirectly.
You mean something may have happened to them in life? They were abused.
Yeah, they was abused.
Yeah.
They was living in this environment.
Mother could have beat them or scarred them, or the father. Right. Or I've heard wicked stories from women about their own fathers having sexually assaulted them, and not once but for years. And so
you don't know what people is holding. A lot of people is holding some dear stuff to their heart that happened to them, and then you expect these people to be sane in situations when you're dealing with an insane situation and an insane system. You get what I mean?
And you also don't know what they came in with, because we celebrate young children when they can play the violin, just pick it up and just play it, or play the piano, just play it, no training, no nothing, right? Well, in a previous life, right, they had that instruction. You see? But we're codified into the system where we only see life as this one thing. Right. And talk about the ancestors so much.
Right. It's a continuum.
If you're talking about the ancestors and you're making that a reality, why don't you also see the lineage of that thought? It goes from one generation to another generation to another generation to another generation.
Separation of the soul and the spirit.
There you have it. So it's more complex than this kind of elementary view that we have embraced based on the colonizing manifesto.
I know we remember that. I'm sorry, Clint. That commercial
that tells us that we are from primitive people.
Right.
He's talking
I
about
know
the
we
Asian.
remember that. Was that on the Malcolm X movie when they had all the people saying, "I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X." Right. So that part right there, it's like we have to embody that. I am my ancestors. So when we call on our
Exactly.
ancestors, I am Gregory Higgins. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
I
That's
am
right.
my ancestors and that ancestor. So once you can connect to that source of your heritage, you won't feel like you calling on something that's outside of yourself, because without no ancestor, there's no you.
Correct. Okay. And a lot of practices with voodoo and you know different rituals. You know
Ifa,
the
Orishas, all
the
that.
who all that the hoodoo all of that. Yep.
Right.
Was to clean and address your ancestors and clean the line of their trauma, right?
Yes, sir.
Because it ain't like people who die don't have trauma, right?
Yes.
So they need healing.
So let me pose this up.
That's why we remember the ancestors.
Let me pose this other somewhat relative question. What is success? You know, I was watching Bruce today. He got a special on Netflix, and he was talking about his wife, and he was talking about, and I don't know if it's a true story, but I know I had to turn the channel because she sounded like somebody I used to know. She had 57 Louis purses, 50 of these purses, and they were on a trip, and he knew it was a setup. They were going to Vegas, and she talked about this $20,000 Birkin purse. And I just got tired. I had to turn the channel. What is success? What do we as a people define as success? Are we still trying to keep up with the Joneses, not knowing what the Joneses got to go through to keep that? And I'm talking about this broader piece of commercialism, and I'm guilty. I'm certainly a part of it all the way in, no question. But just putting it out there. What is success?
Yeah, I always say that success is due to your own measure, one's own measure. You know, because
We
of the
say
fight.
that.
No, I'm saying that from what your life is to you. Because for me, being in control of my mind was a success when they was writing me off as bipolar schizophrenic with psychosis. So to be in control of my mind and have articulate thoughts is a success. You know what I'm saying? To be able to take those thoughts from my mind and bring it into manifestation, into reality, is a success. You know what I'm saying? To be in my daughter's life more than I had a father in my life is a success. So some successes are intangible, and it's not as visible as a material success, such as a position or a status or a financial gain. So I think the tables get distorted when we talk about success. But if we coming together as a collective success, we have to set a plan of what we're trying to achieve with that said success. Because somebody would have, one person could gain the material success, but another who hadn't had that experience would just love to be a part of the, the Indigenous Series. Oh, I talked to Doni, I talked to Hannah, I talked to Planet. That could be a success for someone as well.
Can we agree, similar to what this comment is, that we certainly have to be more owners, more heads, more lenders than being the tail, being the consumer? You know, every ethnic group around the world moves into my neighborhood. Over here, we got people from Yemen. Over here, Afghanistan, Mexico, actually Honduras, Nicaragua. Over there, I'm guessing they Afghani too. Afghanistan, the same country that we had conflict with.
Right.
These people come to our neighborhood, our neighborhood, our neighborhood. Make money off us. What do we own? We spend. And so I gotta side with that. We gotta control we gotta get back to farming, owning. I'm talking to people. I do a lot of, meet a lot of business people that will pay $1,200, $1,500 a month to rent a space. I gotta say this, and I hope it works across America. But if Doni Glover is going to pay somebody $1,500 a month for space for my business, Doni Glover might as well get a mortgage.
Facts.
I say.
Because by the time I build out this joint that somebody else owns and make it popular, they're going to go up on my rent. I'm eventually move anyway. So just own own your space. You might have to live upstairs for 5 years.
Yes, sir.
So what? Who you trying to impress?
Right.
These people move from halfway around the world. They don't speak our language. They don't look like us. They don't smell like us. They don't talk like us. But they set up shop in our neighborhood, and we first in line.
Yes, sir. I think the learning curve, the wealth gap or the learning curve will help too. I think going through the process of becoming an owner is not as simplified as paying someone to rent. And I think it scares a lot of people.
There's a way. And you get what you pay for. So you don't put nothing in, whatever it is, the $1,000 down payment, $2,000, we buy Louis bags. I couldn't believe how much I got other things to do. These bags and to have one, it's a status thing. I've arrived.
Yes, sir.
That's the trick.
I've met people with a Benz out front and no food in the box.
Sure.
Can I say something?
Come on.
Yes, sir.
I think when it comes to our people, you only are the least of thee. I don't care how much your success is. The least of us is you.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
Facts. Facts. Because anytime at any moment you can be there.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
So that's why I'm saying that's the arrogancy. A lot of, I'm better than such and such and such and such because I done got this trinket and that trinket. And everything you got is from someone else. You the least of your people.
So I got something for you. I got a litmus test for all of us. And I'm proud to say on my block, we are about 100%. How many of your neighbors do you have their phone number?
That's gone now. I don't know that I still talk to some people I grew up with, but
no. Where you live at?
I don't know none of them folks. I'm out here. I do my own thing. I let people be their own. I don't know them, honestly. I may say hi and bye to my neighbors, but I ain't got no numbers.
I'm saying, who you gonna call?
Cousins. I got cousins. That's not.
Yeah, you got the biggest family in all of North America.
That's right. No.
And somewhere along the line, you gonna tell me and you cousins, because everybody I put on the phone with them, wherever they at, he knows somebody they know.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call my cousins. That's what the
we
hell.
Gonna vote you president, Hannibal. I think you should be president.
Right, not me. Not me.
Well,
I just like to, go ahead.
I would say 8, right? But when I was growing up, I had all 8 numbers in my head.
Grandma's number?
Now I got it on a device. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whose numbers did you have memorized?
Mothers, homies, my crew, girlfriends, next door neighbor.
Do you remember any of your old girlfriend's phone numbers?
No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I don't remember that either.
I ain't gonna say that, but I remember my
I
number.
got a good damn memory.
914-664-7189. I know
Right,
that
right,
one.
right.
That was the one
If
you
I see
needed
it
to know.
today, I'm like, whoo.
Yeah, that was the days when you had to remember. Nowadays, you just write the number and put a name there.
You know the
No,
certain numbers you know.
No, check it, Donnie. Check it. The dude, the dude Sam Altman, right? His sister used to live next door to me. Anyway, he's promoting this device that he says is the iPhone and the Samsung killer. It goes in your ear, right? His rap is you just think the number and the phone in a call.
Yeah, I seen that.
You saw that, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. So that's where they rolling.
Yeah, they on them.
rolling.
They on them.
The neuro.
Neuro. Yeah, them neuro.
Yeah.
Come on, they on them neuro joints
I
though.
know
But
you know.
that's that transhumanism that they introducing. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't even know what them vaccines that we putting in our bodies with that nanobite technology and all of that is really converting us.
Bottom line is they failed at being human, so now they stepping the game up to another plateau.
Absolutely.
That's the lick.
She said, "Don't
do it." Absolutely.
I ain't saying French we in a minute.
Yeah, no, we ain't about that one.
Yeah, I can remember that first. My great grandmother's phone number.
Yes.
That number.
Yeah, I got that one. Absolutely.
So this is the wave of the future.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, homeboy that come out. See, you can't pull nothing.
Crazy.
You can't put nothing over on Hannibal. He'll go in the back. He'll go in the after to bring out the gear.
You know what I mean?
That's the wave of the future, y'all. That's that meta quest.
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm talking about we be standing. Technology is changing, forever changing. You know what I'm saying? Then these little babies that's living now, they gonna think of something better. That's why they so good at it.
Yep.
And then their baby's gonna think of something better. And then on and on. That's the name of life.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's exposure too. I think according to how much a child is exposed to, it helps develop to develop their perspective. So when they are exposed to certain technologies, they already have a certain mindset.
Yeah, that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? I think the thing is, maybe like you said a good comment, wave of the future, not mine. I think the thing is, we got to know what the future holds.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of time. Go ahead, explain it. I'm sorry.
That's how we got tricked the first time. Okay, we weren't up on the technology, yo. That's okay.
Yeah,
they came over here with the guns and the this and the that.
Yeah. Talk to these if you want to know how technology is moving. Talk to these young children. Not children. These youngins.
Yeah, they
the
know.
Ones in their 20s and the early 30s and these teenagers. They know. These kids make money off the internet. Get free identity. They know. I used to get packages from Amazon all day. My youngest boy played football, wide receiver. All types of mouthpieces and wristbands coming to the house. How you getting this, son? I'm getting it for free. How you getting it for free? He doing so. He adding certain friends to like the site, and they send certain things. You know what I mean? I'm talking about these. Where's the will is a way. And I'm saying that everything is on the up and up on the internet because we know it's bad places on the internet. But that comes from support. You get what I mean? Or people knowing where to find resources at.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Being in the company of people outside your friend group. I'm just now, I always was able to communicate with people outside my friend group, but I'm just now 52 years old saying, okay, now let me let all these people into my life. You get what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, that the networks we have and the exposure we have, because we can be in the box, And this world, this country, and all of us, we live in all different boxes, but it's a collective box.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. Looking for a payphone. I know that's right.
It's one in Detroit. It's only one. And they call it the police part. I keep saying it.
You know, the phone used to be attached to the wall, yo.
Well,
Now it's attached to the brain.
You got it.
yeah, did you know that, like, even with that technology, did you know you can have your own internet services? Did you know that certain cities, like in California, I forgot what city I was in, that the whole city had free Wi-Fi? Did you know that you didn't have to pay for Wi-Fi? Like certain neighborhoods in Detroit got Wi-Fi because certain people made their own little network.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking into building a network as well. I got a few servers and things that I've been putting together. I still doing the studying on that. I'm not that techy of a person, so I understand about that.
That's just explaining the exposure, like you said, Mafia.
Yeah, and sharing the information though. Sharing the information. I think the learning curve, like I was saying before, I think the learning curves is what put fear in a lot of us, because we have the fear of failure, or the fear of being ignorant to some things.
Our master she put it right there. She said, "Ask ChatGPT." That's
ain't got no damn fear. We put some of the most ignorant shit on Facebook. We ain't got no damn fear.
Nah,
we ain't afraid of nothing.
No, we embrace ignorance. No, we embrace.
We ain't afraid. We're afraid to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're afraid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Try teaching somebody the history of Islam and Christianity. Try teaching somebody the history of the United States corporation outside of what is in the educational system. You know what I'm saying? Try teaching somebody finances, about legal terms and
straw man,
legalese, and you know what I'm saying?
We can stand on the corner for 10 hours and talk about nothing.
But we know that though. You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that we know.
That's what we've applied ourselves to, and we can do better.
No, we can.
We can do much better. All of us can.
I should.
Starting with the babies.
Yeah, but that's why we
came up with some friends and something with the school. And I was listening to what they want to give the kids when we go there. And I hope they're not listening. Now, the pizza, okay, that's one thing. But then they start mentioning snacks and sugary drinks. And I'm like, we 60 years old. Shouldn't we be talking about fruits and vegetables? I mean, some fruits or something? Or
no, that's primitive. That's primitive talk.
I'm not giving your child some sugary drinks. Well, just give them water. Or give them something else. I mean, teach him something.
Teach him something.
Damn. No, we gonna get the what's the juices called? Mafia. Capri Sun.
Yeah, Capri Sun.
That's back when that's 50 years ago. We 60. We still thinking sugary drinks.
Well,
because your grandmother wouldn't give you that.
Yeah. Your
grandmother would give you something more intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, it's a deep look.
Yeah, that's another learning curve too, Doni. Your taste buds, adjusting your taste buds. You're drinking bitters and stuff like that.
Yeah,
come on, man.
You feel
Ain't nobody drinking no bitters,
you know what I mean? Come on,
Black sea oil and beet juice. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Come on.
But you wonder why we got all of these diseases.
You know one thing that you don't see no more? Like, you see a lot of dialysis places now, especially in Detroit. A lot of them everywhere. You don't see people walking. Simplest thing. You don't see nobody with a garden by their house. Simple things. You see somebody go grocery shopping, everything is pre-packed out the freezers. Everything they got. They done went shopping, did good, but everything is pre-packed.
Yep.
We know.
I got to give me some ginger, some onions, some cucumbers, some tomatoes.
That's the one
every
thing
week.
We know.
Every week I need to see fresh fruits and vegetables. Got some pretty ass bananas.
That's
yesterday. I mean, they just pretty, pretty. And they say the real apples ain't got that toxic stuff on it or put differently, you got to scrub them apples because them
But
apples
everything got sugar in it, and certain things, everything got sugar in it. Certain things we eat. Did you know? I seen a comment. You know, I think I seen that today, a video today, like, and they talk about ice cream and ice dessert. It's a difference. Now you go to the store and you look in the freezer and you think you're grabbing ice cream. You're not grabbing ice cream. You're grabbing ice dessert. And this ice dessert got all types of ingredients in it.
No, you better stay away from that Soylent Green, yo.
Yeah.
But guess what? Most people do. Most people see it, grab it, eat it. No, it's Breyers.
Because the company don't notify us.
They selling blickies, mafia. Breyers selling blickies.
Yes, because the company don't notify us when they change their ingredients.
The
FDA don't give them a public notice for them to inform people when they change the ingredients.
I stopped liking Breyers when COVID came in because they were shorting me on my rocky road. It's a certain amount of chocolate and nuts supposed to come in, and they was shortchanging me. I'm sorry to cut you, Planet.
And it seems to me that the words on the items are getting smaller and smaller. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
You have to have a magnifying glass just to see what's in it.
And Donnie know this, right? When you go to business class and them words on anything, that's a contract. You done actually, when you bought that item, you done agreed to the contract. When you go to a baseball game, on the back of a ticket, the small words. So if you get hit in the face with a baseball, you can't sue.
You see it?
Because you agreed to the contract.
Yeah.
Everything in business in this country is called contractual law. Rather you sign it or you verbally agree to it. The fine print. That's business 101. That's the first thing you learn about business here is contract law.
That's right.
So if you want to start a business, that's what you're going to learn, what a contract is. And most of us agree to contracts every day when we go to purchase things.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, that's one of them things. What you say? The syrup and the shaved ice.
I think it is a lot of us on the entrepreneur level in our community that do have healthy products like juices and meals and things of that sort. It's just we need more exposure and we need more education to educate the people why we should be changing our diet, why we should not need a whole bunch of salt on our food. And
no, there's truth to that statement. There's truth to that statement. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
I got a question for Panda. So say, Hannibal, your business expands and you have developed a system for ourheritagehub.com, and now you're in like 10 cities.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And on social media, we're gonna be big up. You still might do the show, once every other week, but you busy running systems. You got employees here, employees there. But people still remember Hannibal, the personality. And so then next thing you know, Hannibal, you on one of them awards show.
Okay.
Planner, you've been around celebrities. I guess what I'm getting to is do you still have a responsibility? Like all of this you've been talking on here, say 3 years later, 2 years later, boom. Do you still have a responsibility to our community? I'm going to put it out there as an example. Say Donald Trump then invites you to an event because your star is rising.
Okay.
And you happen to do something that maybe you wouldn't do right now, but your circle has changed. And so when I asked the question earlier about success, couple that with celebrityism and who we think we have to be when the spotlight is on us. I think of Rick Ross in videos with his chest open, with his titties out. And at what point do we, as grown people, 50 years old, 60 years old, at what point do we grow the fuck up?
It's individual.
I'll
It's
defer my
individual.
time to the rest, to the panel.
Yeah, it's individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
you can't clump it in a group. It's an individual.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
hope that
some people never grow out of certain habits and ways.
And when when you're on the celebrity tip, a lot of that costs. A lot of that costs. You know, and you have to be strong. You have to be strong. But there are celebrities out there that are doing it, and they do it quietly. They
Because I'm
fund
seeing that
different stuff.
too. The celebrities
Mhm.
on air bickering with each other. I mean, okay, we disagreed on something, fine. But is this what Black success is now? That me and my son are arguing with you and your son?
Mhm.
Yes.
No,
It's not cute no more.
No, I agree. I
absolutely.
agree.
What? And I mean, I'm seeing T.I. and 50 and this person and what? And so I'm reminded of what Malcolm said, that entertainers
Mhm.
have never been our leaders. Harry
Yeah.
Belafonte supported MLK, but Harry Belafonte stayed in his lane.
Yeah.
Help me out, Planner. You know this history better than me.
Well, money can play tricks on you, and celebrity can play tricks on you.
I
Right?
mean, in our community.
It's once again, it's gonna come back to the wisdom of who you are. So if you don't have that wisdom, you're gonna make those kind of mistakes or get tricked. That's bottom line.
Yeah, because on the money you're saying God we trust. So to some
There
people
you have it.
that's
And
enough
that's
God for them. They don't need no more
yeah,
God than the money that they have.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And they have
Right?
no moral compass or moral obligation to the people who are following behind them.
And then when you have the let's see here. When you have the agenda that is put forth by what Hannibal was saying earlier, a lot of the what you brought up too, Donnie, is the celebrity has its own rules that come from the culture of so-called hip hop.
Is that our culture?
That's that industrialized cultural trauma fed back to us. All the negative stuff that's in our community fed back to us. Like our people is only saying what they see. So the things that the
Correct.
negative is being fed back to us. But then look at us, we conscious to see it, but we got children that don't know why we are saying these things. So they look at it as this the lifestyle to be like. You know what I'm saying? My uncles and them selling dope. You get what I mean? Let me sell some dope.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I
Here's
mean?
what I was supposed to get for you.
America is not from hurricanes or earthquakes, not from disease or war, but from violence one against the other. We must understand clearly that violence comes in many forms and is acted upon by many sources. Whether we are talking about physical violence, spiritual violence, economic violence, or sexual violence, the end result is the same, the destruction of human life. Enough is enough. Our greatest fear right here in America is
Cloris
not
Tucker.
from hurricanes or earthquakes, not from disease or war, but from violence one against the other. We must understand clearly that violence comes in many forms and is acted upon by many sources. Whether we are talking about physical violence, spiritual violence, economic violence, or sexual violence, the end result is the same, the destruction of human life. Enough is enough.
So does the music that we have today cover them 4 aspects she's talked about? Could you play that one more time?
Damn
This is what I want our viewers to listen to it closely. The 4 violences that she talks about. Do we embrace those things?
She said physical violence, mental violence,
Spiritual violence,
sexual violence.
Come on, is that within our
The greatest
culture?
fear right here in America is not
Sorry.
from hurricanes or earthquakes, not from disease or war, but from violence one against the other. We must understand clearly that violence comes in many forms and is acted upon by many sources. Whether we are talking about physical violence, spiritual violence, economic violence, or sexual violence, the end result is the same: the destruction of human life. Enough is enough.
Yeah, that's powerful.
See
powerful.
Cloris Tucker.
And,
You ever heard of Mafia?
Yes, sir. Of course. You know,
So-
they was on her hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she was speaking out against the music and things of that sort. But that was the time when niggas was coming into money. So it's like, no, we ain't trying to hit what you talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She went as far to buy stock in the record companies to attend the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
That's how far she was into the game.
Right.
And that wasn't her only. That wasn't the only time she joined bought stock in a company in order to make changes. She did that in other areas of business also, including helping Chef Timothy Dean here in Maryland. That's when I met her. Chef Timothy Dean, one of the most awesome chefs out of this state.
So I didn't know she marched with King. I didn't know
See,
that.
Dolores was an icon, man. See,
didn't
Dolores
know.
Tucker, icon, but down to earth. I met her.
Yeah, and then the thing is, when I found out that, like with Tupac was right with his mother was with King's folks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a link between her and Tupac, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, kick rocks. Now I ain't buying that. Come on, man. Come on now, Dog Glover. Come on now. Come on now.
You can't deny what she said about the music.
You can't.
I mean,
She was an agent. Come on, y'all. She was an
But that's all part of the game.
Yeah.
I ain't giving C
put
Dolores. I saw.
to put
I'll
out
tell you
all
what.
this
She's the agent who stood up for a black man's business. I know, and she can agent with me all day long. Timothy Dean, right here in Maryland. Come on now. Maybe she was, but I saw her help somebody too.
But see, that's the part of the game, though.
That's the part of the game.
Look at any politician that's in the politics that didn't know what the corporate system was before they got into it. They had a different heart as to what they wanted to change when they got into it.
Correct.
So that don't you're a part of a corrupt system that don't necessarily make you corrupt unless you.
Do any of y'all use politicians? Do any of y'all access politicians? Councilmen, delegates, state senators, U.S. senators, Congress people.
Absolutely, I've been in the politics since 2009. When
go ahead, Mafia.
When what's my girl name? She was running for sheriff against Anderson. I forget her name. Frances Jane Hamilton. That's when I got started into politics. Shout out to Mr.
The pretty lady.
Yeah,
that's the only reason you helped, because she was pretty.
She was more against violent rap and sexual rap.
That's what I remember about C. Dolores. She wanted us to wake up. Yes.
Yeah. Is it a difference between rap music and hip hop? That's the question I asked.
Damn right.
It was rap first. Hip hop is the marketing of rap music. So what you call hip hop is the destruction of what? Because when first rappers wanted to uplift us.
Yeah,
I would say
it was a communication channel.
A hibbit to the hibbit, a hip hop.
Right, that's what I would say. I would say it was the reverse of that. Hip hop was first, and then the rap tore it down. They took the rappers, because if you talking about hip hop, we talking about all the elements of the culture. We talking about.
So anybody know about the alligator god in Egypt? Named the Hippo?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hippo. Yeah.
Maybe.
Is that hip hop? I'm talking about is his essence hip hop? the god from Egypt called Hippo.
That's a deep question.
I mean, I thought that was a feminine goddess, though.
No, that's
I'll
an
tell you
alligator.
this: that
Alligator,
rap
right? Something like
and
that.
oratories is nothing new to our community. We have
Stevie
always
Wonder.
had entertainers, singers, obviously
But do
musicians.
karma exist?
Once again, in the music business industry or whatever, you have to look at what drug was popular when it was created.
Mm.
And that will dictate what type of sound and what type of, because it's a soundtrack to that economy. Okay?
That's deep.
Do I have to say that again?
Say it
Yeah.
again.
It's the soundtrack to that economy. So if it was a jazz lick, okay, it was coming out of that heron.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? If
Like
it
was improvising.
if it was a rock thing, it was coming out of that reefer and that acid, LSD, all right? If it was the hip hop / rap thing, it was coming out of what?
Weed,
The
New
crack
York was
thing?
crack. Yeah, we used to call it New Yorkers in Detroit. They used to take weed and put crack on it.
Okay. So all of that is a mirroring the industry, right? I know many a homie, I won't list their names, but many a homies, right, in the music, big homies, got paid with cocaine. Literally. Okay? So that was more the R&B scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it went into the crack thing, right?
Hip
hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the drug makes you lower your morals, right? To support that culture.
Are we the only
Right.
people that call that women a bitch in our music?
To my knowledge, but I'm sure that
It has expanded since then.
yeah,
You know, people following.
exactly.
You know, them guys
You
over
might hear
in the
that shit in
UK.
country western at this point.
Yeah, no, for real. Them
Because
guys
it's
over
about
in the
that
UK.
money,
Yeah.
right?
I think when we talk about hip hop, you talk about our culture, you not just rhyming. We talk about the dozens when they's talking about each other.
Right.
We talk about all types of stuff that
Right.
make up hip hop.
So we're not attacking the creative genius of the form.
No.
We're attacking what culture is using it to separate you, to destroy your family, to do that, and why they support that element over the other conscious element.
Yeah. Because the song Black Man, Stevie Wonder was rapping on that.
Absolutely. King Heroin, James Brown.
Yeah, you know, what's his name? The Last Poets. We talked about them.
Yeah,
Scott,
Jill Scott, all of them homies. Yeah.
Yeah, they was rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Night Crave, we have to take some responsibility.
Absolutely.
We can't blame, you know, do we take ownership over anything? Nobody held a gun on no rapper and said, if you don't make this music, you're going to die.
Correct.
People choose, and as we saw with this whole Diddy trial, a lot of people with Epstein,
yeah,
people will do anything to be in the light,
in the limelight.
Yeah.
Right.
To say I went to that party.
Yeah.
And that's when it's on yourself. You to blame, not nobody else. Like you say, accountability is always somebody else. When you point the fingers, 3 fingers pointing back at you.
There you go. There you go.
I learned that when I was a deep one. Like it's always something that you doing wrong.
I can't blame you for the decision I made.
That personal self-esteem is the lick. That's why you got to know who you are.
And I got to push back on Night Crave. See, Cloris Tucker was the voice of reason for many people. And if y'all think, if some people think she was an agent, as a couple of these comments, and I respect your comments, I never saw her that way. I saw her as like auntie coming with some common sense. Hey, look here, you playing with fire.
No, I'll be the first to
and
admit
this gonna
that
bite.
I was against what she said. I was young. I admit that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that she was right.
Yeah.
Hindsight
you know,
is 2020.
You fighting for your expression, right? Right? So you're in that mode, right? And you don't know the dangers in the mode, right? Because you're just looking at the heroes of that,
Yeah,
you know,
free
genre.
to be you. You get what I mean?
Right?
She was a fearless woman. She wasn't no punk. She was a fearless, strong woman. She bought her way in the boardrooms to make decisions, to make an impact. Is that an agent? Is everybody that does something you didn't do an agent? We throw that word around loosely.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah,
absolutely.
I agree though, and I think I think even with modern times, right? In modern times, we have a lot of suicidal music. So because people have suicidal thoughts, now we have more suicides because people making more suicidal music.
I'm guilty.
Now wait.
I don't want to
when we
live
go-
no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at the front door.
Wait. Once again,
I said that. I repeated. I sang that.
let's look at the drugs, right? Right. So you got the Paxil, right? You got all these drugs that the homies at school were giving the kids. Okay.
And all that type
Okay.
of stuff.
Ritalin and all that stuff, right? Well, if you read the package on the thing, what does it say? May induce suicidal thoughts. It's right there on the package. It's right there on the package.
Then we go calling the police for our loved one who's having a medical emergency, a mental health episode, and quite often the end result, if you lucky, is incarceration or hospitalization, but off the break, pop, pew, pew.
Right? So this is a deep labyrinth, but you got to look at the drugs
And the food.
Okay.
And the food.
Yeah.
Or lack of nutrition.
And then you also locked up in the ghetto, right? You know, I used to live in Crenshaw, Jack. Right? And they had the homie down, the only store was the Korean joint or whatever, Asian joint down there, right? The food was completely inferior. Okay? I used to live in Beverly Hills. Completely different food.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a deep lick. It's a deep lick.
We got people that got, in Detroit, what they do, you go to the grocery store, it'd be old meat and they shoot up blood in it and make it look like it's new.
Throw some Windex on it and sell it to you, yo. It's deep. It's deep like that. So you know, re-establishing our cultural discipline is tremendously important.
So let me just get this one important point in. Would you agree that we have some things that we all agree on?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like learning, education, training that is important for our young people. Respect,
absolutely,
especially respect for your father, your mother, your aunties, your grandparents, the elders. Are we still with that? Is that still
absolutely?
That's still good.
Absolutely.
And a degree of compassion for our collective situation.
It's like,
would you say some type of spiritual connection to the Creator?
Absolutely.
And some accountability. A lot of accountability.
Because there's a wave coming to America called Christian nationalism. Okay. Now, by our color of our skin, we are excluded from that club anyway.
So,
But
so Plan, that's the
think
that's the latest version of that bullshit.
Right.
don't think that it's just a fad.
No,
They
I think
coming with it. They are saying that the war, okay, and Donald Trump is
Okay.
anointed by Jesus to
Okay.
do this work. Okay.
Okay. Now I know they don't know God, and they damn sure don't know that Jesus was black. So that's just
Absolutely.
again their latest reinvention, the latest fiction in their own
And
damn mind.
they gonna put
We
all of
know
it.
who the hateful ones are. We are very clear. And and those same YNs, I gotta say, are not playing with them. I know we hard on the YNs,
So it's about,
but they not playing with them at all. It ain't
So,
no
it's up to
turn the other cheek. They're not wired like that.
It's up to us, okay, to activate the God particle in us. Don't look anywhere else for it. Activate yours. And then
Come on,
share
Mom, I
that.
need to hear from you, man, because this show is all about you.
And I think it's very important to not throw our people away. You know, we all was misled and redirected off our path at one point, and we was able to get here where we at to stand where we stand. So it just like plan to say, have some compassion, and, you know, and being in a position that we in, if you're trying to learn, teach somebody or share something with somebody that's outside of their natural capacity, you have to have the patience for them to be able to receive that. And you have to have patience with yourself to not be frustrated with sharing things with our comrades, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. So, yeah, man, we got to unite on what we can unite on, and what we don't unite on, we won't come together. And that's okay, because everything is not for everybody. When I was young, I tried to bring all my friends together from every neighborhood, and that wasn't the best idea, because everybody don't mix. So those that do connect on what we can connect on, let's do that and build it up. And once you build a foundation for certain things, it might work to bring everybody together. But until we do it step by step, you can't put the cart before the horse.
Correct.
Hey, I gotta hit this for man. A lot of people have not seen this clip, but we just gotta give him some love.
It's Muskoku, Ricky, Nico, Locusi, Johnny, Gators, and Mussolini, Hannibal, Liz in this party, Red Man, the Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and the Red Ferrari, Red Clay, will range your bodies, medical, and X body, ya, bless. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chest. I got this technique better. I found my destination to a red light. Rock your soul to the daylight. Hot your going crazy, right? Nancy going crazy, right up, man, fight. I'm purple hating through the night. I'm thinking cherry out of spite. I'm thinking Suki for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm South going through the streets. I rock that rage on the tape. Kusi King is outrageous. Kusa. Like a dude in the field, such a core, and I got something funny.
Yeah.
They called me Mr. Manifest.
Yeah. That's right. That's what we talking about.
I was thinking about what Donnie, what you were saying, what y'all was saying before we went there. I'm optimistic. And I think that no matter what we do, the ball is already in motion.
Correct. I'm 100% with you on that.
It's already there. So no matter if we participate or not, you get what I mean? That's for every individual. Our destiny is already set. You get what I mean? So I think it's gonna be it's gonna be something different for us, and it's gonna be better for us.
And the evidence of that is this show.
Yeah. I believe so. So that I'm gonna stay optimistic about that.
Yeah. The more we know about each other, in case some type of civil war do break out, we got a better idea where our allies are.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody playing with them people, man.
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about the hateful people, whatever color they are, because I tell you, it's the ones that look like me that concern me the most. The ones right there in your face and been working for them agents. Now, I will say I'm aware of them.
I should.
I know that's right.
And that's what we've been dealing with since it all began.
Correct.
You know, racism is a construct that was added on after the destruction to further and continue it.
Right.
But we got to think for ourselves. And Mafia, I just need you to know you are the most important person on this panel because, you know, I don't know if you ever saw that poem by Khalil Gibran on children. And not that you are our child. I just mean generation.
Yeah.
You're going where we won't go. And your children going where you won't go.
I should. And
their children will go where they won't go. But if we keep connecting generations with the good stuff, man, I didn't. The one grandfather I had, he was grandma's second husband, he was step grandfather. Every day at the school, I go to their house, wait on my dad to pick me up. But we'd have graham crackers and tea every day at the school.
Mm-hmm.
Graham crackers and
graham crackers. That's right.
And sit at the table.
Right.
Every day. How many young people get to have any kind of experience like that?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
And they were old people. You know, nowadays Bruce was saying in his latest thing on Netflix that their grandma is 30. Great grandma 40.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma, my grandma was old. Always was old.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
You know, with a cane, great. You know,
right. BC time. No, I know the one. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. I made my mother grandmother at 30. So, I understand. And I think the older generation understood time and the time that it took just to spend with a person. Because even if over graham crackers and tea, y'all didn't say much, the energy transfer, it just speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So I think spending time definitely has its value. And we don't spend enough time.
True that.
And that's all we got.
Big ups to all my friends, all people my age who now find themselves taking care of their parents. That is not an easy task. I try to be an encouragement to the people I know who are taking care of their mom, their dad. I know, I understand. I've seen it many times. Big ups to you taking care of your mom, your dad.
Absolutely.
It's no easy feat. You are loved. You are important. And you're giving back to the one that gave to you.
I say.
Absolutely.
Some people wish they had that opportunity. Some people had that opportunity and blew it because they stuck mama in the nursing home and left them there, only to go in there and take their shit while they, you know, I done seen that cruddy thing too.
Yeah.
People go to somebody, thought they was dying, thought they was on their deathbed, get them to sign over all kinds. I done seen them crud balls too, and they don't have no luck. No luck. No luck. They get what they get.
Absolutely.
And definitely shout out to everybody. Well,
Always that one
don't
sibling.
throw away our elders.
Always that one sibling. Then everybody wants to show up for the funeral, falling out, crying, jumping in the casket, jumping in the
Right.
grave, all that.
Yep.
Okay,
All
hey,
that
Sean,
hooting
I'm
and
the son of
hollering.
an undertaker. I done seen him.
Yeah, you know.
I done seen him.
Mm-hmm.
We try to give grace and mercy.
Absolutely.
Awesome show. Awesome show, you guys.
Come on with that bell, man. He did 2.5 hours.
All right.
Bruce said in the old days, it wasn't no online bullying. It was that 3 o'clock bell. You know what's going to happen at 3 o'clock. You know what it is. You know what it is.
That's it. That's it.
Save all of that for 3 o'clock.
Let's get into our stillness. Let's follow our breath. Send this out to Horace Lee IV and all of our people, all of our ancestors, all of our loved ones, and all of the people we care about.
Peace.
It's like a challenge sometimes. Yeah.
I want to acknowledge the people in the chat. Our Nasa, Big Baby, French Wee Wee, Dark Glable, the Amaridian, Fuzzy Booger. That's a name. Donald D. Nice, he's been there. I left my glasses, forgive me.
Yeah, snowstorms in the summer.
Backyard. Shirley Baker. Larry Jackson. Lord Desmond. Speak words to power. Speak life. I pray life over everybody watching the show, listening to the show. I pray you have a positive and productive week. I pray peace. Any toxic people, I pray they stay at bay and stay out your way so that you can accomplish. Planet, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Donnie.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate all
Mafi
of you.
Shakur, it's great to see you, brother. Great to have you back.
Absolutely.
You the point guard.
What
Yes,
up,
sir.
though? What up, though?
Hannibal.
Yes, sir.
My man.
Yeah. I love my people. All right, family. That should be the word, family. Peace.
Familiar.
Peace, peace,
Good evening,
peace.
world.